Super Rugby round number 12, folks. Some pretty cracking games over 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Blues get a win, which is good news for my guys, as they, for a wee while, sat in the top 6. Although it didn't stay there. Moana Pacific got a much-needed win, and I feel like pretty much ended the Highlanders season. The Hurricanes put the Chiefs' bid to kind of finish the season top of the log at a bit of risk, but we'll go through the games as they were. You guys can let us know your thoughts on how things are looking after 12 rounds. Most teams have only got 3 or 4 games to go, and then it is playoffs time. I mentioned the Blues started off the week pretty strong with their victory over the Force. Much needed, and a much needed bonus point. Did a full match review for that one. I was actually pretty happy, especially because the Blues didn't fluff that bonus point at the end. They tried their best. Like, Angus Ta'avao was the only guy with the brains to kick it off the bloody pitch, but he didn't have the execution, is the way I think somebody put it in the comments. Because there were other guys, Knock and Bodie, I think, who had chances to get the ball off the pitch earlier, but didn't. Didn't make a difference because we held on to get that bonus point. It's 40 points to 19. It had been really wet in Auckland that day, so there's a fair bit of slipping over, which makes some of the defensive plays, I think, look a little bit worse, like cross kicks and guys trying to change direction on a dime. The defensive players, that was not happening much. So the Blues ended up getting a couple of tries that way and actually got the ball pretty wide, which was pleasing. Like, I did the stats on the Blues not too long ago, and our top ball carrier has been our bloody locks. Well, this game, it was Rico, it was Evans, it was Taylor, it was Bodie. You know, the backs were getting the carries for the Blues, and they were getting the tries. I mean, Renata got the first one. He's had some tries this season, the big tight head, but Forbes got a couple. Lamb got one. McQuannell got one, and then Berry got one as well. So there were some direct tries. There were some tries up width. It was pleasing. But the Force were in the game. I don't know if it's a fair reflection, but it is the scoreline that they finished with. 3 tries from Tizano, Beale, and Dolly. So they certainly got the maul going. Potter looked dangerous out wide, but yeah, the Blues hang on for a much, much needed bonus point win. And yeah, still out of the top 6. But we were there for a little while. And the Force's bid for the top 6 has also taken a real dent with their tour of New Zealand, because they've not picked up any points from either of their 2 games against us and against the Chiefs. Next was the Fijian Drua home to the Reds. Always a different beast at home, but it's their first win not at Lautoka. They got a win in Suva, 36-33 over the Reds. But boy, did they have to work until the last minute to get that one. This one was a real mix in terms of momentum swings, because the Drua had like a 15-7 lead, but then it was 19-15 to the Reds at halftime. Second half flourish saw the Drua take the lead again, 29 points to 19, but then the Reds went back in front with less than 10 minutes to play, so it's a try at the death that gets it done for the Drua. It's Rabitu who gets it from some pretty loose ball. It's basically Seru Uru scooping back a ball to win a turnover, but then just bobbles it, loses control of it, and the Drua pounce and are able to go and score from it. So a pretty bonkers game in terms of multiple swings and changes of the lead. But yeah, the Drua season's not gone that flash, but good to see them get a win at home. So that's their 3rd win of the season. So their record is still 3-8. They're still 3 points behind the Highlanders for the second from bottom spot. But it's a win. Give their fans something to cheer about. And for the Reds, that is a bit of a blow. I mean, they get a losing bonus point out of it. And like I said, going to Fortress Fiji has been tough for a lot of teams. But in terms of trying to get into like the top 3, yeah, that loss has certainly not helped things for the Reds. The Hurricanes and the Chiefs, this is a bit of a statement game from the Canes, because now they've gone back-to-back, and it's kind of starting to look like a top 5 plus chasing 6th spot if the Canes can keep up some of this form. Because it's kind of looked like a top 4 up until this point, but the Canes are maybe finding some form at the right time. I think the return of Billy Proctor has been big, and Love at 10 is playing really well. There are other guys in that Canes backline doing well. Karefi's getting turnovers for days up in the kind of loosies. So, yeah, there's a few things going right. There's a weird game, though, because there's 6 tries scored, but only 2 try scorers. Sullivan gets 4 in the second half for the Canes, all 4 of their tries, and Rona gets 2 in the first half for the Chiefs. So all the tries were scored down one end. So if you bought tickets for the other end of the field, or was it the field that they didn't really sell tickets to? They don't sell tickets to all the sections of the cake tin. Reduce on staffing costs, I assume, but keep the fans together makes sense, get a bit of atmosphere. But yeah, all tries down scored one end. Rona got 2, like I mentioned, and the Canes were kind of opting for 3s in the first half. They took the lead 9-7, 3 penalties against the Chiefs try to Rona, but then second Rona try is not going to be great on review for the Canes guys, because it's basically just an intercept. Proctor threw that one. Like, everyone loves Proctor, and I love watching Proctor as well. And Proctor sets up a try not too long later, but yeah, that's a pass that was too easy for him to pick off. But then second half, Chiefs do not score a point. So yeah, what is it? 26 unanswered points from the Canes in the second half. 4 tries. Balin Sullivan comes on for Naholo, unfortunately, who's injured. He went down like he'd been shot, so that looks like it's a pretty nasty one. I haven't seen an update on what the status of his injury is, but it's pretty unfortunate timing because Naholo's been in pretty devastating form. But Sullivan comes on, 4 tries. As I said, 1 from Proctor, 1 where he just goes through, I think it was Ratsima and Stevenson. Like, Stevenson's almost like a revolving door on that tackle. It's pretty poor. He gets 2 from kicks, a cross kick and a grubber kick. Some pretty sweet stuff from the Canes. It's a very, very nice second half from them. And like I mentioned, Karefi finishes the game with 3 turnovers won. So he's one of a number of good loose forwards we have in New Zealand at the moment. Hey, Sullivan's stats finished with 4 line breaks and 4 tries. Pretty simple stuff when you get that guy into some space. I mean, some of them would just basically catch and dot it down. Proctor, I mentioned him as well. He was in the top 3 passes for the Canes, so that's how much they use him. You know, top passer is always your number 9. Second top passer is more often than not your number 10. Third top passer can be an interesting one. Sometimes it's a Lucy if you get them involved a lot. Sometimes it's your number 12. It's not often that much it's your number 13, but Proctor for the Canes really getting some hands on the pill for that game. But yeah, big statement win for the Canes, man. And as I said, the Chiefs, yeah, the record's 8-3 now, and the Crusaders were on the bye, so the Crusaders have kind of got a little bit of an advantage there as they chase down the top spot, assuming the Crusaders can turn that game in hand into a win. Brumbies continue their march on to top spot of the Aussie teams. They beat the Tars in Canberra. Tars are no good away from home. Tars looked all right. I only watched the first half of this one because I had to go to bed because there was other rugby on to watch in the morning. But the Tars second half did not go that well. Not quite as bad as the Chiefs. They didn't get nil, but they only scored 5 points. A late one through Callaway at the end. The Brumbies, I mean, Toole got a couple. The second one was a bit of a gift. But even the Brumbies, to be fair, didn't score in the final quarter of the game. Ekitel got 1, Toole got a couple. Pollard got a couple, 1 from a maul. Alan Alatoa got 1 from close range. He's on a bit of a try-scoring run this season as well. But yeah, from 19-12 at halftime to 40 points to 17 full-time, that is a bonus point win for the Brumbies. And yeah, their record is 7-4. Is 1 win better than the Reds. So we'll see if they're able to push on. It does look likely that they're going to finish probably 3rd, but they are not that far behind the top sides. You know, the Chiefs and the Crusaders are on 37. We'll have a full look at the table in a minute, but yeah, the Brumbies are on 34. So it's not that much between them. Walton made 17 tackles for the Waratahs at 12, which is not a bad shift. Sueli scored a cracker of a try where he has some ridiculous power to go over from close range, but like I said, second half not really any good. Wright and Toole for the Brumbies, 4 clean breaks apiece. So that Brumbies backfield still looks pretty sharp, even if there's a bunch of forwards on the scoreboard. And then the Landers, I reckon the season's done. You can probably put a fork in it. The Moana Pacific guys go down to Dunedin and get a 34 points to 29 win. Now, rugby's like a 23-man game, so I've never really thought one guy can make that much difference. Like if you put one really good player on a team which is still pretty rubbish, I never thought that one guy is enough to lift that team like seemingly kind of multiple levels. And it's probably more moving parts at play. But geez, Moana Pacifica looks so much better since ARDIE has joined them. And the games where he sat out, like when they played the Blues and ARDIE didn't play, they didn't look as good. He is proper amazing. He scores a phenomenal try. He got one denied a few weeks ago for a kind of kick and chase, but he's proved that he can still do it. It wasn't a fluke last time. This one gets given. It is incredible, but this puts Moana Pacifica into the playoff spot. And I reckon this one is the game of the week. If you watch one Super Rugby game this week, even though it was a battle of two teams who went into this one outside the playoffs, I still reckon it is worthy of a watch. Tough if you're a Landers fan, though, because like I said, I think this is, even if they'd won this game, I think their season was pretty tough because the Highlanders have got the Canes away, the Crusaders away, and the Chiefs at home. Like, those are tough fixtures to end the season either way, but they're well off the pace at the minute with tough fixtures ahead. So I think they're young side, but I think they're pretty much done. I mean, Ratu Maitavuki Nipkin's got the first one, and Jonah Lowe got a couple. Taylor put them ahead on 73 minutes from a maul. But the Moana boys just kept fighting. Tawala got one, Lalomilo got one from a nice grubber kick. Savea got one, like I mentioned. Failangi got one. And then Matavao with the charge down, like basically from the Landers not exiting after the Taylor try. So, Malani Matavao, that guy gets the pat on the back, even if Savea is the guy getting more of the plaudits for this one. Savea was pretty crazy, man. He won turnovers. Like, he helped set up a long-range penalty for Havili by winning a turnover right on half-time. It was a sweet shot from Havili in that one. Havili, though, did get himself into a bit of hot water with a yellow card with a pretty bad high shot. He only got yellow carded for it, I guess, because there was a bit of a dip. But, man, didn't look great. Fakatava had a fantastic try assist behind the back pass. Like, that's why it's game of the week, man. I know the Canes getting up over the Chiefs is a big one, and you know, the Drew and Reds changed lead multiple times, but this one changed leads multiple times and just some unbelievable tries. Savia's one, Fakatava's try assist. There's some pretty sweet stuff in this game. Really, really good game of Super Rugby and important for Moana because, like I said, that puts them in the top 6. If we have a look at the table, the Chiefs are still first despite their loss because the Crusaders were on the bye. So those guys are both on 37 points, but the Chiefs' record is now worse at 8-3. The Crusaders are 8-2 with a game in hand. The Brumbies are third, not too far behind on 34 points. As I mentioned, in the Reds, who've still got a game in hand, are on 28 points. Their record of 6-4 is just above kind of 50-50. Then the Canes, like I mentioned, who seem to be coming right. They're on 26 points, just above Moana, who are 2 points behind them on 24. So that is your top 6 as it stands. And then the chasing pack are the Blues, the Force, and the Waratahs on 22, 22, and 21. I reckon you can probably write off the Highlanders and the Drua at this point on 18 and 15 points. Like, even though if they both won all their games and other results went their way, it's possible. It just seems pretty unlikely. Like, the Drua have got 2 of their final 3 games away. The Drua don't win away from home, so it seems pretty tough. And like I mentioned, the Highlanders have got some pretty tough opponents heading into the playoffs. The Waratahs do have a game in hand, which is their one bit of advantage, but they got a home game against the Crusaders. They're away to the Force and away to the Blues. Waratahs haven't been winning away either, and their one home game is against one of the very top sides. So it seems like a rough road for them. The Force have got the Drua away, and then the Waratahs down the road as well, but they've got the Brumbies to contend with at home first. If we look to the round of 13 fixtures, the Drua host the Blues in Fiji. That's a must-win for the Blues. Absolutely must-win, because we've got a bye to come as well. And we've also got Moana Pacifica away, which is maybe a game where one knocks out the other. The Waratahs have got the Reds. So that's a proper ding-dong battle between, cross-state rivals. So that should be a cracker one. When the Waratahs are at home, they seem to be a much better team. Crusaders have got the Chiefs, which is, I mean, that's a top of the table battle, that one. But the Chiefs going into this one with a loss takes a little bit of the spice out of it, because I think that puts the favourites tag well on the Crusaders. And then the Force host the Brumbies, which is a pretty much a must-win game for the Force, because like I mentioned, they've still got a trip to Fiji to come. They've got a home game against the Waratahs, and then they finish up with a bye. So they need to get some points on the table while they can. The bye comes at maybe not the best time for the Hurricanes, who are just getting some rhythm, and Moana Pacifica. I think they both would have liked to play this week, although Hurricanes will see what the fitness is like of Naholo and whatnot. But yeah, the Landers are also on the bye for round 13. But you guys let us know your thoughts. How do you think things are going? Shaping up with only 4 rounds to go. Take care of yourselves, folks. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. More Super Rugby coming your way. Take care, and talk to you guys again soon. See you later.